I did have an interesting conversation with a very short guy who people think is actually really tall, called Greg Braden. He's only about this high. It's the hair, you see. And we're having this interesting conversation about this particular crop circle, which it got his attention. So I wasn't really interested in crop circles, but then I saw a picture of this and I thought, wait a minute, this is very interesting. And I said, well, between you and me, Greg, we actually thought it was actually a drunk farmer going around with a garden roller. But, you know, you did the work. You have to go and take a look at it. It turns out it's the real thing. Now, every time the circle makers have made things which differ from normal, we stumble upon some huge new understanding. And this is what was happening here, because what he said to me was, this particular design appears to be matching strategic breaks in human DNA, which are waiting to be coded. And he said, have you got a diagram for that? Yes, I do. And he said, well, it matches places in DNA which are not coded for protein. And his point is actually, I think, very valid, because what he was saying is, if you take the map of human DNA and you look at what's in there, God, the creator, the source, does not create things without reason. There's a function for everything. Everything in nature, form follows function. And we as human beings are part of that expression. So why would you leave these 9 gaps, these points of protein in the human DNA, when nothing happens? It's as though they're waiting to be triggered by a future event or some kind of development in our evolution. And I thought, well, that's actually a very good point, because now with the crop circles happening at a particular pinch point in our history where, yeah, you can feel it. Things are coming to a head right now. We are in serious trouble. So his point was that if you take this crop circle and you measure the actual flattened areas, and where you get an actual break, where nothing happens, where the crop is still standing, if you take those breaks and place them as a percentage of where they occur under the design relative to the human DNA molecule, they hit exactly the 9 parts of the human molecule which are not coded for protein. And I thought that's a very lucid point you just made there. We took this a little stage further. I got in contact with biogeneticists in China who were also looking at this specific idea, and it amazed them because they were keeping very quiet about some secret experiments they were doing over there, as they tend to do. And they found that a change in the local bioelectromagnetic field changes the information that is received by DNA. And what the Chinese found is that in laboratory experiments, genetic information has already been transmitted successfully from one organism to the other by altering the frequency of the local electromagnetic spectrum. Consider the implications here, because we treat crop circles as living organisms because they are also electromagnetic and they can be measured. That's what, again, differentiates the real from the fake. So it might be possible that they are transferring information not just to the planet, but also to people who interact with them. And it changes their lives.